Putin News Now. Putin claims the Wagner Group uprising has not divided Russia and promises to keep the agreement in place. Putin made his first public appearance since a band of renegade mercenaries marched toward Moscow over the weekend, and he used the opportunity to declare that Russia was united in its opposition to the uprising. Putin appeared to reaffirm an agreement he made to end the conflict in a brief 5-minute speech, which resulted in the exile to Belarus of Wagner Group commander Yevgeny Prigozhin. Putin did not specifically name Prigozhin, but he raged against the uprising's organizer, calling him a traitor. The mercenary group led by Prigozhin, also known as Putin's chef, has been instrumental in some of Russia's military victories in Ukraine and elsewhere. At one time, he was the Russian president's closest advisor. Prigozhin, in his own speech earlier in the day, claimed that Wagner forces had marched on Moscow to oppose the dissolution of the Wagner Group and to protest the failures of Russian military leadership in Ukraine. Prigozhin claimed the Wagner Group did not engage in any attacks against Russian troops, on the ground, but he did concede that the group had retaliated against military forces that had attacked Wagner aircraft. Putin stated that several Russian pilots had been killed in action. 30 Wagner fighters, according to Prigozhin's earlier claim. Putin reiterated other points of the agreement to quell the weekend uprising as well. Without resorting to bloodshed, he thanked the Wagner fighters and informed them that those who had chosen to stay on the sidelines could sign contracts with the Russian military. Putin also said that any mercenaries who didn't want to join up could return home or go to Belarus with Prigozhin. Dmitry Peskov, Putin's official spokesman, said earlier in the day that Putin's speech would determine Russia's future. The march of the mercenaries toward Moscow is a challenge to the Russian government. Yevgeny Prigozhin, head of the Wagner Group, denies any desire to seize power. On Saturday, Prigozhin reportedly disbanded his forces after receiving an offer to go into exile in Belarus from Kremlin officials. Since then, he has disappeared from view. On Monday, however, he issued a voice recording in which he claimed that he and his men had acted as a form of protest. Prigozhin stated, "The purpose of the march was to prevent the destruction of the Wagner Group and to bring to justice those individuals whose incompetence resulted in a large number of errors during the special military operation." According to Prigozhin, the Russian regular forces were to blame for starting the march. He claimed that they launched a missile and helicopter attack on a Wagner base, killing 30 or so soldiers. He claimed that some of his troops got within 200 kilometers of Moscow before turning back. President Vladimir Putin claimed that the mercenaries' true goal was to incite civil strife among Russians. Putin said in a national address, "Civil solidarity has shown that any blackmail, any attempts to create internal unrest are doomed to fail." Putin says the Wagner forces made the right decision by stopping their advance. He told them they have the option of joining the regular army, moving to Belarus, or going home to their families. To address the situation, Putin convened a meeting with Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and other security officials. Some Russian officials have speculated that spies from Ukraine or the West were involved. They say they will find out what caused the mutiny.